Alright guys, welcome back again to another exciting one. This is Fash and I'm so excited to be here. So right now we want to take a look at what is data frame. Just imagine you trying to fetch some tables inside a column using series. So whenever you want to talk about the entire table in an Excel, imagine you are dealing with data frame. So it's just like a frame that contains rows and column. Alright, so a Pandas DataFrame is a two-dimensional data structure like two-dimensional array or a table with a row and columns. Okay, so without no further ado, I would like to start creating something. So this is in this tutorial, when we were dealing with NumPy, we use a lot of lists. So in this section, we are going to be using something that looks like dictionary or dictionary with together with list. So I don't want to talk too much, let's dive in. Okay, so I'm creating a new cell right in there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a data. So the data I'm going to create is going to say, hey, I am going to contain a curly brace, but inside that curly brace I want you to do me a favor. I want to have a key and I want to call it what? Calories and duration. So let me have calories in there. So you have to go out and have a quote, double quote, a double column. All right, so inside in front of this double column I'm going to have some list of numbers like, okay, the calories from 500, 600 and 700. So I'm going to have 500 calories, 600 calories and 700 calories. Okay, so once you're done with that, you are going to separate it with comma and copy this again. I want to make sure that you are typing this thing correctly and paste it in there. So what you are pasting down in there is going to be like a duration. It's going to be another key. So I'm going to say duration. All right, and here I'm going to have duration of the of that time that you're having those calories. The duration is 50, 40 and 45. Let's say 50, 40. It's just a random data, don't put it in your head. 50, I just want to show you result of how it works. So you're going to be using the real world data, but we don't want to go straight down into using real world data without you understanding the genesis, the basics. Okay, so I'm going to have 50, I'm going to have 40 and I'm going to have 45. 50, 40 and I'm going to have 45. So once you have this, you can see you have a data that comprises of an array and that comprises of a list of two dictionaries which contain calories and duration. I told you something that if I'm running it, I think I have an error somewhere. Duration. I think I didn't separate this with comma, and this comma is not supposed to be here. So let me reload it back and then we can see it works. So okay, so fine, this data is what we want to use for our data frame. We've actually said something about data frame before in the beginning of this tutorial, and we just want to perform that experiment again. Okay, so this calorie is going to be the heading and these are the lists inside the heading. So this is the heading and these are the lists inside the heading. That's exactly what we want to achieve. Okay, so without no further ado, I am going to create probably I'm going to say df to load the entire data. All right, so I'm creating a new cell under this place and I'm going to say df, hey, I want you to load all the data for me. So if you want to load data for me, I need to use pd, but this is not going to work because I have not created a cell before. I've not actually imported that pandas. So I'm going to say import pandas from what? As what? PD. All right, so as PD. Okay, so once I run this, definitely I can make use of PD right in there, and I'm going to say data frame. See, data frame we are going to use is going to be in capital D. Please don't use small d, small letter D. Okay, capital letter D and capital letter F. So you can see I said data frame. All right, data frame. So I want to create a table. That's exactly what it means. Just imagine you want to create a table with some codes. All right, this is how to do that. So I'm going to say data. All right, so once you do that, that means that thing is going to create a table for you. But don't forget, that table is going to have a default index of 0, 1, 2. All right, so let's load this. We're loading it right now. Okay, fine. It's not going to show because we're not printing it yet. So let's print it now. All right, I'm creating a new cell under this place and I'm going to say, hey, I want to print you so that I will see you in tabular form. What is that? That is df. Okay, so let's run the code. Boom. So you can see right now below you now have it in 0, 1, 2. So I told you something about index, that you can start to change your index through labeling. So right now this is the result you're seeing, but how can you now locate a row? Locating the rows. So if you want to locate a rows in data frame, you're going to use something as you can see from the above result. The data frame is like a table with rows and columns. So Panda use what is known as lock attribute to return one or more specific rows. You know, when we were trying to work on series, we just use it directly we just use index directly, but this time around you need to use loc to actually locate it. So let's create a new cell under this, and let's say, hey guys, I want to create a location which I want to have the first row. Let's say, for instance, I want to have this first row entirely. That means I'm going to use loc to do that. So I don't want to tell you much of story. Let me just dive into the practical. You know, df is the name of the entire data frame, and I'm just going to say, df, I know that you're existing, but I need to use loc together with you so that I would be able to fetch a row. All right, so I'm fetching the first row right now. I'm reloading it. It's fetching this for me. So all this duration, sorry, something is wrong, I don't know. Oops. Okay, fine, I understand. You can see it fetch the information of 550, and that is that. Okay, you can see it fetch the entire information for us. All right, and this is awesome. This is awesome. Okay, so what we're going to do right now is that but there is one thing I want you to understand. This particular example return it in form of series. So whenever you are using loc, it's going to be returning it for you in form of column, in form of series. You know, this thing looks like a series. Okay, so all right, so let's take for instance now I want to do something again, and I will show you what exactly you're going to see. Let's say, for instance, you want to do it this way because it is a single word data. That's the reason. What am I saying in next sense? Let's say, for instance, you are copying this thing again, and you're saying, hey, I want you to have 0 and 1. I want to display the first one and the second one. All right, let me run it. You know, oh, something is wrong. Okay, let's scroll down. What's going on? Something is wrong with our code. Print df loc 0 and 1. Okay, I think I get where the error is from. Once you want to do that like that, you have to ensure that you put it in another square brackets, so that you can see it gives you the first row and the second row, because it sees it as two arrays, so it is arrays inside array. All right, so that is that on that. You can see how very pretty this thing is. It's very, very easy. So if you are printing a single row, that means it's going to return it in form of series. But if we are printing it like 1 or 2, it's going to show it in form of the normal table. Okay, hope you get that. But there are many times where you want to name your indexes, like you want to give it a name. You don't want it to be 0, 1, 2. You want to give it a name. You want it to be like maybe something. Maybe you just decide to give it the index, probably day 1, day 2, day 3. You can do that as well. It's nothing. It's just the way we've been doing it before. So you can do that using that data frame. Okay, let's take for instance, we are picking the first data. Don't forget, it's pretty easy. Just say df2 like is equals to what, pd dot what, data frame. And then once you do that, you say, okay, fine, I need you. What do we need? We need the data. Okay, this data that we've created at the top. So we need this data, but we want to give the index day 1, day 2, day 3. It's easy. It's very easy. So just scroll down. When you scroll down, just paste it in there. So when you paste it in there, separate it by comma, like the one we did before. Say index, and from this index have a square bracket and have day 1, day 2, day 3. It's going to automatically cycle through the number of data that is inside and give them those indexes. Pretty easy. All right, so let's do that. So I'm going to have day 1, day 2, day 3. So I'm just going to say what, day 1. You can see like the way we did it in the first place. Day 2, when we started the class. All right, and we'll say day 3. You can see how cool is that. So once you do that, you can easily print your, let's do this because of errors. So let's create a new cell to verify by printing. All right, print df2. So by the time we do that, let's roll it. You can see it gives us the 1, day 2, day 3 instead of the 0, 1, 2. So if you decide to probably use loc with these, what we have to do is just create a new cell and say let's have a data frame like the way we did when we want to print the loc. So you can say print. Okay, say df2 dot loc, and inside this loc we are going to have day 1 and day 2. But this day 1 and day 2, because it is in Word, so it's going to be in quote. Do you get my point? So what I'm going to do right now is just say D1 and separate it by comma and say D2. Just as simple as that. Okay, let's run our code and let's figure out what exactly is going to give to us. Okay, it's actually showing error. What exactly is going on? Let's do some debugging. Okay, okay, sorry, we are going to have, what is this 2, so we are going to make sure that it is in quotes. Okay, it is inside another word square. All right, you can see it gives us what we have, what we're expecting. So it gives us the 1 and the 2, just as simple as that. How cool is this? I can see you're getting it right. So if you're not getting it right, trust me, just listen to this video again, and I can't wait to have your comment in the comment section in the class. I'll be more than happy if you let me know what you are feeling about this course and how you are understanding it, so that we know how to actually improve more on how this is going to be very, very easy to understand. Okay, so how to locate an index is what we've actually done right now. We've located an index. We've actually located an index with what we have created, and this is what we want to do. So in the next tutorial, we're going to see how we can load some kind of data from Excel straight down, or from CSV straight down into Jupyter, and that is the beginning of what importing big data into our project. Okay, this is where I'm actually going to stop for now, and in the next tutorial I can't wait to have you in there, and until then, see you in the next one. Bye.